Hello from Safonova. This is the podcast Pigeon of Peace, where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about feedback, and let's start with the definition.
When I was working as a boss for IT department, then for security department, I was sure that my job was to give task, to check the fulfillment, and then to pay salary and rewards. But then my older colleagues, they asked me, do you give feedback for your subordinates? And I say, never. I was young. I was like, I don't know exactly, 23 or something like this. And they were saying, if you will not give feedback to your people, they will not develop themselves. And I asked, okay, but what is feedback? And it was like a definition. Feedback, this is, and now I need your help to translate it. This constructive and not criticism, not не критический,
Without a criticism?
Without a criticism, but with obstacles and with successes, description, how jobs were done. And, it's funny because I always was thinking about results. Okay, we achieve the goal, we achieve the point or spot, and then I should talk with my people how we were going, what was wrong during our road and our fulfillment. And it is very strange because, for example, I was educated in Soviet Union, and I was working on cathedra in my institute, and I have never been under feedback. So it was like first debut.
And what will be the components of the good feedback? And probably moving forward in the conversation, we'll try to expand this topic and look into different dimensions, but maybe we'll start with a high level. What are the components there?
Now you'll laugh. I know definitely. There are several ways how to do feedback. And one of them, it's called sandwich. You should say something good, then bad, and something good. Good, bad, good. So this bad should be wrapped in something good. And for adult, for me, it's like it's nonsense. Okay, if there is something was done good, you should say it. If something was done bad, you should also pronounce. But why to make this wrapping? But it was several times I was under the pressure. I was forced to give feedback, and I was recorded by myself on voice recorder, and then I was presented to my boss, and he was listening and saying, "You are so скупой."
I would say
not generous.
Not generous, yes.
You are not generous for the words. You are saying like a machine. You should say something more pleasant, something more humanic. And then when you start to say bad, you should use some kind of euphemism. Is it okay to say euphemism?
Yeah, euphemisms.
Euphemisms to make everything go smooth, because some people could cry or even lose conscience.
Well, when we speak about the way we deliver feedback, I do believe in besides of sugarcoating or adjusting the interface to whoever we're speaking to, it's also maybe other dimensions, like for example, it will be amount, or maybe frequency, or maybe the timing, or maybe the crowd that we use, like whether we should give during one-on-one, or maybe we could do this in a group. So we probably could look into the main dimensions to see how exactly feedback could fit well.
It depends from the person who is receiving the feedback. For example, I do not like feedback because I know I have a scale in my heart. So I know, is it good or bad and how it was done. And I know like in percentage. And the same with you. When we write articles, you always going to fulfill the string as complete as possible. And sometimes I couldn't enter even one symbol. So it is like 100% filled. But there is a saying which I like a lot. You couldn't jump through the gap for 99%. Is it okay? How to say пропасть? Gap or
abyss?
Abyss. Yes, okay. But I was thinking that abyss, it's like something like catacombs, no?
Abyss usually like when you're staying high and there is a lot hate down below.
But
you still can probably
huge pit. Okay, thank you. Okay, so but there are some people has no scale and they couldn't understand, and sometimes they do job with, I don't know how to say, спустя рукава.
Roll the sleeves down.
With roll sleeves down. I don't know if our English-speaking listeners will understand, but Chinese people on high level, they were using or long nails or long sleeves slim down to show that they will never work. So their clothes and their nails will not allow them to work. But okay, there is a new generation or generation Z. They not want to have feedback. They want just to have just good one. And right now in our dentistry, there are several girls and boys which are working as assistants and coordinators, and also, I don't know how to say, receptionists, administrators, receptionists, and they sometimes come to me in small group and say, are they working good or not? And I know they do not want to know that they forget, for example, to open up or turn up, включить.
Switch on, yes.
We switch on, I don't know how to say, dishwashing machine.
Yeah, dishwashing machine is good.
And something like this. They always forgot, but they never forgot, come to me and say, are they working good or not? And they always came in the middle of the month before I will give them a salary.
Well, I do believe it's more like a preparing the stage for anything else. And one thing that I kind of realized, I don't know like how exactly it might be looking on the surface, but let's say sometimes you might give the feedback, but the person might not even understand what is this about. And well, I'm sorry, but I will use this example with the styles, because sometimes there is an area that you do understand how the things work. Let's say in a Word document, it might be like multi-layered. And sometimes you'd have no clue and someone will just say, okay, well, fine, I will fix whatever you've done. So how to deal in such situation when there is like unknown part and the person might not be ready or may not have a knowledge to actually wrap their head around about the feedback itself?
You know, that's my hardest pain and maybe nightmare. I know some kind of programs. I know 18 programs, I think better than 99%. I have some skills which I also have developed on quite a good level. And sometimes I meet professionals and they try to argue with me. For example, we have several students in School of Troubleshooters which write program on Python, or for example, they do analytics in Excel, or maybe they write documents in Word, as you mentioned it, or something like this. And sometimes they present me a result of their work and they expect that I will say something, oh, it's good, it's great, and something like this. But always I'm thinking, okay, how much time would I spend to correct it? For example, we have a pupil and he wrote an article for 7.8 thousand symbols, and I was correcting it for 6 hours. So for me, it was twice faster just to rewrite it. Yes, sometimes it's happened. The same, for example, would be when you do some kind of job. Okay, you have your level, but if you couldn't note that other people fulfill something better than you, but they could, you know, we say this also on etiquette and some other skills. If you will not find any mistake which was taken by the person, maybe this person is on level higher than you. The same with the results. When you have employee which came from small companies which use just local language, and maybe they never was on I don't know how to say на повышение квалификации.
Increase their level, or like a proficiency improvement courses or something like that.
Yes, thank you. Proficiency improvement courses, they will do something very terrible. You know, it is like with my mom and even with my grandmom, they could prepare food. For example, like scrambled eggs, or maybe some porridge, or maybe some, I don't know, cutlets. It's okay to say it, cutlets? Cutlets, okay, thank you. But I was trained to do this with three-star Michelin chef. So I do it better. And sometimes I forced to eat it, and I know it is completely terrible food. And without spice under name love, it couldn't be eaten.
Well, and when we speak about, like requesting feedback, because sometimes you might not be the one who is actually giving, you might be someone who is requesting. And you, as you said, some people might be having scale and they may have like they may have like a self-evaluation mechanics inside of them, but sometimes they might need some sort of like external, I would say, maybe validation or maybe correction. So how to request feedback properly and how to process it also in more constructive way.
The most constructed way not to ask for feedback, but you could ask how you could improve your result. Yes, sometimes our people ask me to give feedback for their job and, for example, for their work. And sometimes they give me photos or maybe documents and maybe some models and visualizations. And each time I'm sitting and thinking, okay, how deep should I don't know, undercover the onion? Раз did look undercover?
Uncover, yeah.
Uncover the
Or
onion.
dive deep, also good.
Dive deep into the onion layers, because if I would scratch low, the job could be pronounced as good. But if I will go deeper for 3 levels, it's completely disaster.
And sometimes when you receive feedback, there is also, as I kind of like experienced in one of my jobs, there was a situation when like a CEO was asking about feedback, and then he actually was responding to it, explaining. So it's mostly look like as if he would be, I don't know, like making excuses or making stories. Again, like was conducted in a more constructive way. But should we reply to feedback, or should we actually reply maybe not with words, but with the actions, with the results? So what is the best way?
I think I will tell you a small story. When I was moved from Kiev to Moscow, I established several rules how to conduct meetings, совещания meetings, yes? Meetings or discussions. First, we'll put one question for 5 minutes. Second, if we will not fit the time, this question would go in the end of the pipe. Third, we have just 11 questions per 1 hour, and last 5 minutes period we will use for feedback. But the fifth rule is we will never give feedback for feedback. For example, after our meeting, Maxim Golubь will say, Oleg, you was aggressive. Maxim, or maybe, Oleg, I do not like your style, how you treat someone on the table. And then I would say just several words. Thank you, Maxim.
Well, I think this is also, I would say, like a constructive way of giving feedback. Then my last question will be how knowing about feedback could help to make this world a better place.
Maxim, I will tell you a small story from my life. My wife has different nation than me and different kitchen, and sometimes she prepare food, and then she asked me how it was cooked, and I have two answers. Okay, it was good, thank you. Or another, do you want truth, or maybe we will just we'll take this out of question. And sometimes my wife says, if it is just out of question, you could just roll down the eyes and I will understand everything. Do not pronounce nothing. So you could develop or construct your own language with your subordinates, with your loved one, then to replace bad feedback for something neutral.
Yeah, I do believe sometimes it could be used as a tool in order to actually manage and navigate the different complexity of the relationships. And we review the skill of feedback and how it could be helpful for you. Stay in peace.